Welcome, everyone. It is Saturday. It's a very calm day. It's supposed to rain, so I got this snuggie on. I'm chilling, and I woke up this morning and I started to grab my book that I'm reading, and I'm actually reading this one. And I don't know if where was I? I don't know if you know about 14th Street in New York, Union Square, but there's this area right across from Whole Foods where this guy usually has books like just on a table and he's rarely there. It's funny because I be thinking nobody ever thinks about stealing. I don't know why my mind goes there, but it's just like all these books and like there's the guy's never really there. But anywho, and then he'll just pop up. Like once you touch the book, he pops up. It's really weird. And in the book, it was speaking about the lost dream. And that is really what I want to talk to you about today. Because a lot of us are not able to live our lives to the fullest capacity because we're still grieving over a lost dream. So before I dive in, thank you and welcome to all the new subscribers, those who have been with me. I appreciate you. I thank you for tuning in today. If you like this video, do like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all that good stuff so that we can hurry up and dive on in. Today, I am drinking some really good tea. I'm drinking Chinese cinnamon with thyme and chaparral. And the Chinese cinnamon, the thyme, and the chaparral, amazing blend. Very effective. You gonna go to the bathroom. And a very gentle to the episode. When I was reading the book, there's a part of it, or a chapter that speaks on the lost dream. And it speaks on how so many of us had a dream about the life that we wanted. Some of us really saw it in imagination, like we felt it, we believed it to be true, and it never happened. It never happened due to whatever reasons it was, right? Some of the reasons could be influences from our family and our friends, our self-limiting beliefs, whatever it was. But it made me come to my own conclusion on why I feel like I may be living a lost dream or battling with a lost dream. And that was when there was a moment for me to believe in myself. That moment was tainted by an individual who I did not know didn't really believe in themselves. This individual caused so much pain in my mind because I was so disappointed that I thought I was supposed to trust you because you were supposed to guide me, and you guided me in a decision that you felt was best for me because of your own fears. That was the beginning of my lost dream. Putting my faith in a human who did not have enough faith in themselves. Putting my knowing in what I was told and putting that to the side and saying, well, let me hear what you was told. And then I followed through with what they were told. And a lot of us are probably going back and forth with where we should be in life because we're still battling and grieving over a lost dream. Some of you may have had the dream of being a mother and then you had an abortion. And because of that, you're like, I'll probably never conceive again. So everything you do, you are like, that energy of lack of conception is still in your mind. So you feel like that dream is lost and you grieve every day. Some of you may have had the dream of really becoming a business owner. But what happened was you started, you failed, you started, you failed. So now your drive is so weak to the point where you grieve the idea of seeing everybody going forth and you're still working at the job that you really didn't want to work at. Your inability to trust yourself is causing you to grieve a lost dream. A lot of us are battling with the idea of our reality. A lot of us can't even come to terms with the fact that we made a decision years ago or months ago or even yesterday that really caused a negative impact. And now we have to live our lives in a way that we don't even really know how. Because of that impact, it was so intense that some of us are literally still stifled and stuck in that frequency. And we wonder why we can't go forth and why we can't do things and why everything seems so difficult. Well, what you're doing is you're still grieving you're still holding on to. You're still angry at the lost dream. If you find yourself fantasizing more than doing, more than physically and actually doing the thing that you're fantasizing about, you're reliving a lost dream because you're not doing anything. You're just fantasizing of where you could be and what you could do. And a lot of us do that. I find myself doing it. I find myself in situations where I will sit in the bed, y'all, and I will just fantasize about where I could be, where I would be, where I want to be. And I realize that a lot of the reasons why I have not progressed the way that I know I could have or want to is because everything that I do, I measure it up against one bad decision I made 10 years ago. Literally. And I realized that I might not be the only person doing it. A lot of you might not be able to go as far as you want to go because you measure everything up against, well, will it be powerful enough to make my reason for not fulfilling my dream back then? Will it level out? Let me say that better. I want an example that may not be so triggering. If you had the dream of getting married, somehow, some way you saw it, you got engaged, the love of your life was right there, and you found out some stuff and you had to call the wedding off, and now you live with that resentment of, dang, I was right there, I had it. What can happen is everything that you do after that decision, you can easily start to measure that up against what happened. You start a new business, you do this, you do that. And what that does is you are only doing things so that it can seem like, see, that's why I made my decision. It wasn't that bad. You're basically lying to yourself so that the decision you made doesn't feel so heavy. But the reality is the decision was heavy. You felt that and it was painful, right? So the worst thing from my experience is to live a life with the concept of everything I do has to have some type of validity to why I made that decision back then. Because now you're in battle with yourself. You're in battle. If your dream was to become a mother and God, I don't even want to put God in it. Let me just say things happened. Things happened and now you're not a mother. And everything you do now is like you're trying to make it seem like it was justifiable. Like, see, I'm traveling, I'm out with my girls, I'm living my life. See, that's why I don't have a kid because, see, I couldn't be able to do. Don't do that. Don't compare those two things. Don't compare the decision that you made to the life that you want now. They're two different things. We've all made decisions that have hurt us, that have caused us shame, guilt, anger, wrath, anxiety, depression, whatever, right? What we need to do is accept what it is. If you messed up in any form or fashion in your mind, forgive yourself and acknowledge I did mess up. I allowed myself to believe somebody else, to trust somebody else. I didn't have enough belief in myself. My self-worth was a little jaded. It was a lot, whatever, right? Acknowledge what it was. Because when you acknowledge what caused the decision that is now hindering your growth, you can now be mindful with any decision you make moving forward so that you don't make those same steps. You don't walk into those same ditches that you did before. You get what I'm saying? You can now walk around it and say, the reason why I was so stagnant for 8 years was because I trusted too many people. From this point on, I can't be trusting everybody, period. That doesn't mean you don't live your life. It just means that you're more mindful. It doesn't mean that you're comparing everything to that one decision. You're just saying you're mindful. The effects of a lost dream can be dire to a person. Literally, it can cause you to just stop dreaming. It can cause you to lose hope in yourself and the hope of the world. It can cause you to think that humans are horrible. Depending on what that dream was, can really have a negative effect on your mental. You can literally just stop yourself from doing every and anything. And a lot of us, unfortunately, were raised by parents who did not prepare us, but they just wanted to protect us. A lot of us were raised by parents who kept telling us, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go there. Like, they were basically protecting us from things, but they never said, if you do this, this is what you can be looking out for. This is what you probably should do. A lot of us have so much resent towards our parents because we feel like they dropped the ball in so many things because they did not know how to prepare us for the life that we have now. A lot of us feel burdened with the reality of adulting because we don't really know what to do. I rarely believe that our parent, well, let me not say rarely. I do not believe that a lot of our parents sat us down and said, this is what I want to prepare you for. If life don't give you what you think you deserve, this is how you go get it. I know my parent didn't say that. I know that for a fact. And I battle sometimes with figuring out, well, how do I get it without the fear of being judged and criticized and having my thoughts attack me, right? And one of the best exercises that has been working for me is breathing. Literally, the power of breathing is so intense because when you breathe, you release that blockage of energy that's holding you back. You release those ideas. You exhale all of that. It's pent up energy that you're releasing through your breath. And a lot of us have the pent up energy of a dream deferred. And this is where depression really does come from because we have so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas bundled up in a dream. And it's just like weighing down in our heart. And a lot of us choose to say, I'm just going to stay in this frequency. I'm not going to open up my mind to the possibility of something more and bigger. I'm going to just drown and live in this energy of my dream is lost and I will never get it again. See, you don't necessarily need that old dream. Sometimes you can't get that back. But you can always create and generate a new dream if you choose to. Everything is choice. Everything is what you choose to accept and what you choose to reject. And a lot of us choose to accept our lost dream as our reality, and then we don't go forth. A lot of us choose to accept the fact that we were raised by parents who did not prepare us for life, but protected us from life. I had a homegirl whose parents protected her from everything, that when she finally got out into the world, she was attracting all these hood boogers, ain't good for nothing type of dudes. Unfortunately, she got pregnant by one who was a very dark soul. And guess what? She's no longer in this world with us. He made sure of that. And that story always hurts my heart because this girl just wanted to be prepared for life. She wanted to explore. She wanted to experience. She wanted to know that she was capable, and her parents chose not to prepare her for life. So life came and life did. And now she's no longer here. And it's unfortunate because a lot of us might be feeling like that. Like, I don't want nothing to happen to me, but I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for life, but I don't want to just stay in this. So there's a conflict of I want to do, but I don't know where to start. And I want to give you this. The best place to start is silencing your brain, silencing those thoughts. Because if you're like me, them thoughts be going and coming and going and coming, and you don't know where to go. So you want to silence your thoughts and you want to breathe. You want to acknowledge what it is, what dream you're trying to relive again that was already done in that sense. What are you trying to recreate that you have already bypassed? Because you don't need to recreate something. You just need to live the life that you have now. There was a decision that I made at 21 that has altered my perception of a lot of people and a lot of things, and in myself. But I had to make a decision, and I'm still making this decision, to live a life where that decision does not have to be my whole life. Was it a part of my life? Yes, it was. But Does it have to be the foundation of who makes me me? No, it doesn't. And that is the choice. And the best way to relieve depression is accepting that you still have a choice to create the life that you want now. Not the life you should have had, but the life that you want now. Until next time, peace.